My younger self needed to hear that you matter and you are important and you are loved beyond measure.
Most times our self-worth is determined by external input. And so for many of us, our whole self-worth is defined by that rather than by who we actually are.
What do you think is important to you?
Are you being intentional about building your self-worth? In a world that's so full of noise, we believe one of the most powerful things you can do is have a real conversation.
We're a father and daughter duo, 2 generations, 1 journey, exploring what it looks like to live life with a purpose, love deeply, and heal loudly.
Now, this space is raw, it's honest, and sometimes it's uncomfortable, but always is rooted in reality.
So if you're tired of surface level talk and you are hungry for something real, welcome. You are not alone.
This is Ignore My Rambles.
What up? How ya doing? Welcome back to Ignore My Rambles. My name is Anesu, Michaela, Mautsa, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Siwa Mautsa, and better known as Pops. I'm her Pops.
100%. All right. As we like to begin each episode, we will start with our Ramble Roulette. All right. So we pick a question from this bowl. I will allow you to go first.
Cool. Let's see what we have here. Where are you experiencing unexpected grace?
Ooh, that's a beautiful question.
And just in case you don't understand what we mean by grace, grace we refer to God's riches that Christ expects.
I've never heard it put like that before. Interesting.
But I think for me, in many areas, but I'll pick one, and that's really to do with my health.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So I am 62 now. Did a recent batch of tests, significant, a lot of tests. And I really feel that, I mean, I'm not the most disciplined eater. I think many times I eat badly. I used to love fast foods a lot and things like that.
Okay.
To be honest, the feedback was really good.
Oh, wow.
In so
That's
many
amazing.
areas, And I mean, my mom turned 90 a few months ago. And maybe I've got some of her genes. I don't know. My dad died a little bit early. I mean, he was in his 70s, and I really didn't know where I stood. So I just feel like this is grace.
Yeah, that's definitely grace. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Well done. Congratulations. All right. My question is, what did your younger self desperately need to hear from someone? My younger self needed to hear that you matter and you are important and you are loved beyond measure, even though sometimes you may not feel that way. Feelings are not fact.
Exactly.
You matter.
Exactly.
You are loved beyond measure, because that is a truth, and it's a truth I now am learning to stand in, to boldly stand in. Yeah.
Excellent. That's nice. I like that. I think what we should be doing, is you age and you learn things, maybe writing a little journal for your young you and
beautiful. Yes. And then passing it down.
Passing it down, you know? And I'm sure you'd be surprised how many people would really
benefit from those words. All right, so this episode, we are actually continuing from our previous episode around self-worth and identity. So self-esteem, identity, and self-worth. And I don't know, maybe you can give us a recap and then we can just tap into
what we said a lot about at that time. We kind of tried to define what self-worth was and what identity was. But one of the dominant thoughts I think that came through was the fact that most times our self-worth is determined by external input. Okay. And by that, I'm saying either the things that were said to us that when we were growing up, the things that we've heard from people, friends, maybe even in the workplace, etc. And so for many of us, our whole self-worth is defined by that rather than by who we actually are.
Yeah.
And which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because many times that is not true at all.
Yeah. I hear that. Yeah, definitely. So how can we then start to build ourselves up again? So if you've been living a life which is governed by the validation of other people, how do we then start building ourselves up internally? Because I think it's easy to say, yeah, you must focus on the inside, but the reality of that, and the work that takes, what does that look like?
It's a long road. I think it's a question of developing certain habits and being consistent around it. But the starting point, and I think I might have mentioned it last time, but the starting point is going to be self-acceptance. Now, when you say self-acceptance, what is it that you're accepting? Okay? That means I've got to know who I am.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it begins with an internal examination of who I am.
Okay.
And when you're doing that examination, you want to avoid what people say or who people say you are versus what tangibly, what evidentially, depicts who you are.
So then, can you give me a method or a technique or an example of how we can then start doing that examination?
Take stock of what are your strengths?
Okay.
What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you good at? What do you enjoy? What do you not like? So things like that. And actually jot them down.
Yeah.
Jot them down.
Yeah.
Because those are big indicators of who you are. And you notice most of what I've said is nothing to do with what people are saying about you. It's you, hopefully you are looking at yourself and you realize, hey, I'm actually good at maths. Oh, I'm actually a logical thinker. Oh, I'm actually very creative. Oh, I don't like reading. No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay. It's about identifying those aspects of who you are.
Okay.
Okay. And for all of us, you will discover strengths. And the reason I'm focusing on strengths is there's enough negativity that comes around us, that we hear from people around us in the world. So I would like it. And when I'm coaching people, one of the early things I like to do is get them to identify, I say, put a list of your strengths.
Okay.
Initially, sometimes people find it hard initially because their minds are always clogged with everything negative. But after a while, they begin to, and do it to finite details. Don't use the big suitcase words, right? Try and break it down into detail and list those. And already once you got that thing, you start realizing, hey, not so bad after all. Yeah, not so bad. And that's already one of the things we want to already start changing about how we think about ourselves.
I like that. I love the whole idea of taking an inventory of,
Yes.
and I just to even stack on top of that would be then following taking an inventory of your strengths and your weaknesses, your values too. What do you think is important to you? Because that often defines our self-worth and our identity and our esteem.
Yes.
What's important to you. And then I would say then checking who you're around. And when I say maybe, and maybe I'm jumping too far. Maybe let's do values before I go all the way to the people. But there's just so many aspects of this. Okay.
And I can see why you were going there because already we have said
We're taking
many times, but we've already said that many times what has influenced our self-worth is what we hear around us.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely we'll need to get to that point in terms of that whole idea of building your self-worth. But before that, I think you want to first of all start internally, right? And so like I said, that inventory of who you are, etc., becomes important. I think you also need to then also say to yourself, well, what is it that I'm saying about me? What is it that I'm telling myself that is not real, that is not true, or that is influenced by what people have said about me? So beginning to learn to recognize the negative thoughts, okay? Then your negative things and beginning to challenge those. Okay. And sometimes how you challenge those is by some people talk of positive self-talk. Every time you catch yourself saying negative things about yourself, counter them with saying positive things about who you are. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, guess what? I would do that when I'm going to present, somewhere. I love to look at myself in the mirror. I present, I always do a practice presentation, but many times I also talk to myself positively. Siwa, you can do it.
Yeah.
You're the bee's knees. Remember that word?
No, cut the show, cut the cameras. We're not doing the bee's knees here. Like, that's not a thing we say. Ain't nobody saying that. Ain't nobody saying the bee's knees. I hear that. I think I hear that. I'm gonna challenge you a bit though.
Sure.
So there are seasons in my life, or seasons that I've been, because look, I'm an advocate for that, for like checking yourself. But there are seasons in your life where you're so fatigued.
Yes.
That checking yourself is so difficult. That doing the work of the giving myself positive things to say or whatever, or catching those thoughts, you're just tired. What do you do then?
I guess if you are tired mentally, right? Because obviously you're tired mentally.
Yeah.
Good question is, why am I so tired? Okay. Why am I tired?
Okay.
Sometimes that means you need a rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need a nap.
You need a nap.
Yes, I saw this picture on Instagram which said, "Girl, you'll be good. You just need a nap. Like you gonna be okay. You just need a nap. Take a nap."
I think the other part of, remember, focusing first of all on self. I think the other important part of thing is, I think you talk a lot about it. This idea of self-love, etc.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is about being. Take it easy on yourself. Don't expect too much about yourself.
Yeah. Our standards are ridiculous, and there's nothing wrong with having, being, because I'm an ambitious soul too, right? I'm ambitious, and so when you're ambitious and driven and whatever, your standards for yourself are, why are you doing so much, bro? Because my standard is there, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But not all seasons.
Exactly.
Like, you're not gonna be 100% in all seasons. You can't make it. You can't be performing there in all seasons.
Yes. I mean, I am generally a positive person, right? Generally,
Yeah.
by nature, most of my thinking generally on the positive side.
Okay.
But guess what? Since retirement, I've caught myself many a time
Being a lot more negative.
About me.
Can I ask you, do you think it's because you have a lot more time on your hands?
Okay, that's one. Because sometimes when you have a lot more time on your hands, there's too much focus on you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the tendency is to begin to focus on what we have not yet achieved, what we have not been able to do, etc. So there's a lot of times that tendency to. The second thing for me is also feeling like, hey, the world is busy flying out there, and you're back here. So when I was working, obviously you are interacting with many people, your thoughts are being challenged, you're going to various training programs, etc. And because I'm at home now, etc., I'm not in that space as much.
Okay, fair.
So then there's a need, I think, to intentionally begin to challenge myself, or to structure my life to make sure I'm still getting the kind of input that I think is important for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that. So back to what we were saying then, starting intentionally, we spoke about awareness and the importance of that. What awareness is, what we need to be aware of.
Yes.
Then what's the step after that?
Okay, so I think awareness is important. I think it's important to, part of building the self-worth, right, is also maybe doing things that make you feel good about you.
Fire.
Okay.
That's good. And you know why I'm saying that's good? So when I went through my whole transformation in 2020, one of the biggest things that I would hear, or the biggest words of advice that I would hear from the podcasts and things that I used to listen to, was about moving your body and getting fit and getting into fitness. And it wasn't about weight.
Yeah.
It was about the sense of accomplishment that you feel once you have done hard things. And, with physical activity, it's also easy to measure, because you get that feedback quite quickly, right? And so that sense of accomplishment, doing things that will make you feel proud of yourself.
Exactly.
So when I show up to the gym, I feel proud of myself. And then over time, of course, then when I started lifting more weights, and the heavier I lift, the prouder I feel. Yeah. And of course, we don't want to get into that space where like your whole identity is based on this, but it's like just building, it ties into building credibility with yourself.
Yes.
Do you understand? Showing yourself that, okay, I can do this, So I love that point about doing things that make you feel proud of yourself. What makes you feel proud of yourself?
A couple of things. So basically what you're talking about is a good one. So nowadays I go to CrossFit.
Okay.
As I said, I'm 62, but I go there and I do quite a few things that I didn't think I could actually do.
Amazing.
At this age. And CrossFit is a lot to do with functional fitness. And I love that at this age, I can squat, I can carry fairly heavy things and so on. And the reason I want to be able to do that is, remember, in time, I expect to have grandchildren and I want to be able to lift them up. I want to be able to walk upstairs, etc., etc. Till I'm well into my 80s, I want to be able to do all that kind of stuff. And what I'm doing now, this investment in me is building me up for the future. But right now, and I feel so positive whenever I come from CrossFit. Yeah. It's so positive, And so that for me is an important one, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Love that. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But why don't we talk about some of the external things, I guess,
that we should be doing to start building up our self-esteem? I think checking your circle. So I'd said that earlier because I was jumping the gun, but really, again,
yes,
check who you're around. Look, I know a lot of people, and I do have a lot of people in my life, but there are very few people that have a front row seat to my life.
Yeah.
There are very few people that I ask for advice.
Yes.
That know the business of my heart, that know when I'm making big decisions. There are very few people. So check who are you consulting regarding the business of your life. Not everyone should be. You can know a lot of people, but not everyone is your core, your inner squad. I've had many difficult friendships, let's say, and I was friends with people that would say a lot of negative things to me, but I didn't clock it back in the day. I would just be clock it is when you
register it.
Yeah. I didn't clock. I didn't realize, oh wait, okay, that's coming from a jealous place. So that's coming from a place where you're actually breaking me down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
and so now, because of a lot of those experiences, I was able to learn that, okay, what being Anesu's friend, this is what it looks like. This is what support looks like. This is what love looks like. This is what people showing up for me looks like. This is what people holding me accountable looks like. I can see that now. But in the past, I couldn't. So I think checking your circle, because a lot of the times, the people that you're around can be the same. They're your ops. Opposition. They're your ops. They're the people that are breaking you down and you're not even realizing it. Especially if you hold friendship close to your heart. And I'm a person that friendships matter a lot to me. So especially if I really love you, your opinion, it does weigh something.
Yes.
But that would be the first thing. And I think also this also relates to, I think, family members to a certain extent, because I think family members can also say a lot of things to us that break us down. And it's also, I think it's a lot harder to detach from the words that family members say. But a lot of the times I realized with myself is I would place people on pedestals. Because you are my family member, you're supposed to, and essentially, yeah, cool, this is the role you're supposed to play, but you're also human.
Yeah.
And also what you say is not actually always right and it's not always my truth. But this knowledge came very late in life. So before anything, a family member said, oh, up in arms. Oh, up in arms. I must change something. I'm wrong, And now it's like, you're just a human just like me. We're human, and you're not God. And you're not the author of my life. And I'm not saying discard everything that people say, but we just clock, sift. You don't have to take everything that everyone says as a truth over your life. It is not. This is your life, So I don't know. What would you add on to that?
That's good. I think that's this idea of setting boundaries for yourself. So I think that becomes really important,
Yeah.
You don't want people who are negative
in your life.
In your life or speaking into your life, But in the very same time, you want those that are positive. So you do want to build some kind of a support system. I encourage, right now I am mentoring 2 young people.
Yeah.
And if I was younger, one of the things I would have done or said to myself was to seek out mentors.
Yeah.
that help you to in this journey of life, help you to have the right perspective towards things and so forth. So I'd encourage that,
Yeah.
find some good mentors, find people that are positive.
I love that. Do you have any tips on finding good mentors?
Sometimes it's really just about asking, right? I found that most people do want to help.
They do. And it actually makes him feel good when someone asks, it's like, oh, you rate me enough to listen to the advice that I have to give for the wisdom that I have to share. Okay. Yeah.
So sometimes just a question of asking. So look around. You can have mentors in different areas, right? Okay. So if you see someone that you respect, you like the way they live their life, the way they seem to relate to their kids and so forth, and that aligns with your values, ask them. And you'll be surprised how many will be willing to actually mentor you.
Yeah.
But obviously, you take the initiative. You've got to take the initiative. You've got to make the time. You've got to set time in their diary and say, "Listen, can we meet?" And you come with the questions you want to ask, etc., etc. Really important. But there are people out there. And you're gonna have career mentors, which is also an important thing. Sometimes if you are maybe struggling with career and so forth.
Yeah.
But mentors, I think, are important. Remember, they have traveled the journey before you.
Yeah.
And they can really speak into your life from experience. Okay, this is not just from reading a book. These guys have traveled. They've walked the path. They've experienced the difficulties and so on, and they can help you to avoid some of those pitfalls that you don't have to, because someone has done it before, and they can guide you.
Exactly.
So I think that's a good thing. I think that can help as well in terms of And I would say the other thing as well in terms of external is just do not compare yourself with others.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. That's real.
Yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of people battle with.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much.
And you have to
Very much.
always come back to the thing of like, I'm unique. This is my unique journey. These are my unique mistakes. This is my unique path. And bringing yourself back to that, consistently bringing yourself back to that, which helps to not compare.
Yes. And I like that thing about being unique. I think even when you start, we talked about the internal examination. During that examination, try and identify your unique skills.
Okay.
Okay. It really helps when you realize, look, I'm unique. I am a special breed.
Yeah.
Love that. I am one of a kind.
I'm one of one.
And we know that's true because no one else in the billion people we have in the world, no one else has same fingerprints that you have. No one has got the same eyeballs that you have. You are absolutely unique. And in this world today, the more unique something is, the more valuable it is.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
So if you are unique, guess what? You are super, super, super valuable.
Yeah.
Sure. So I think that idea of uniqueness is really important. Don't compare with others. We have different experiences, etc.
Yeah.
Don't try and say, if so and so did it, then I should be able to do it. Maybe you could be able to do it, but you're different.
Yeah.
You are totally different.
True.
So don't get into that trap.
100%
of comparing, etc. Because then, if you don't get what they achieved, then you start thinking lowly of yourself, and you start thinking, "Well, what's wrong with me?" Blah blah blah. You don't want to get to that point.
Yeah. What is it that you want for your life, for yourself? What does that look like?
Yeah.
Any other additions to, I guess, this topic of self-worth, of self-esteem, of building ourselves up?
I guess what I would like to say is that there is a lot that we can do. Okay. And I think we need to be intentional.
I like that,
about it.
Yeah.
Be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe that's a word I would really encourage viewers out there to think about.
Yeah.
Are you being intentional about building your self-worth? Because the problem with self-worth is that it influences so many things in life.
That's the thing. It's like your relationships, your friendships, your marriage, your marriage, your how you show up at work, the opportunities you don't take because you don't think that you are enough or worthy of that opportunity. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Your friendships.
Yeah.
the treatment that you allow yourself to go through. How you treat your body, how you treat your mind, how you treat your...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really important, I think, and it's an important subject. And like we said in the other episode, more than ever in today's world where we are so constantly being bombarded by all kinds of stuff, most times very negative.
Yeah.
I think they talk about cancel culture. Things like that.
Yes, they do. They do.
Right? So in the end, you start getting scared. You're scared to, part of self-worth is also speaking to the fact that you need to be confident enough or courageous enough to stand your ground, to say what you want, to say no, even if everybody is saying yes. You get what I'm saying?
That one is a tricky one, especially on social media.
Yes.
Yeah, in this world, you really have to watch how you say what.
I mean, I probably wouldn't do it on social media.
Yeah, but for you and but how you
person with
your life,
yes,
live your life
exactly
in your personal
relationship with people. If I'm engaging or even at work, certain people, I need to be able to be me and to say what I really think. And if it's no, it's no. If I don't want to be involved in something, to say no, guys, I don't really want to be involved.
These are my boundaries.
These are my
lines.
This is where I'm going to stop.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
And not worry too much about what they're going to think about you or say about you.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I agree with that. All right. So, rounding off this episode, what is your 10-second truth?
So, let me say this. So, be intentional about building your self-worth.
Okay.
Be true to who you are. And remember, you are unique. You are special. You are valuable. And in Anesu's words, you are worthy.
Love it. You took all my words. So there's no what 10-second truth can I give now? Because you done took everything.
Sorry, girl. You'd have let Pop speak first. Huh?
Oh, I think my 10-second truth would be that this is your journey. This is your life. It's your life. And so you cannot let other people be the governor and the author of your life. Yeah. It's your life. Take accountability of building the life or creating the life you so desperately want.
Exactly.
That is what I want to say about that. And that ties into self-worth and into every aspect actually of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yours to build. Let's get it.
Awesome.
So if you are listening, if you resonate with anything that we've said in this podcast, please leave us a review. Please, first and foremost, leave us a review. Please subscribe, follow. If you have any comments, if you have questions, if you have topics that you would like us to unpack in future episodes, please email ignoremyrambles@gmail.com or comment on any of our content, really. We will check it out. We will unpack it. We will tap into it. And thank you again for giving us your ear time.
We certainly hope it's impacted you positively. And certainly hope that you, going forwards, are going to be building a positive self-image or self-worth.
100%. All right. Catch you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.